Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. I need to get water. Alright, so we are done with the Fire Emblem Three Houses Blue Lion playthrough. So yeah, this was a pretty fun game. Let's say the pros and cons. The pros about this game, I really love the characters. They are very well fleshed out. Each character has their own unique backstories, their storylines and stuff. And like at the end of the game, you don't only get to see what happens to you and like the person you choose to spend the rest of your life with. You also see how like the characters you didn't choose, how their life get to go. Like the Dune married Mercedes, Ash married Annette. I really thought if anybody was gonna get married, I thought Ingrid was gonna marry Sylvain or something like that. But like Sylvain got quote unquote paired with Felix, which I wasn't really expecting. Yeah. So yeah, every character gets fleshed out. This game shares a lot. Obviously, shares a lot of similarities to Persona series, but I think one thing this game does better is the story, the support things, the story things. If you don't know, in Persona, you only get to see your main characters interact with your supporting cast. So it's basically a first-person experience. But in this game, you get to see them interact with each other. So you interact in any regard, you interacting with your students or Shamir, like or other your supporting cast, take a backseat to them interacting with each other, which I really like, because in both of these games, Persona and Fire Emblem, the main character that you control is a blank slate. They don't say anything, they don't react to anything, they don't have their own personality. And I know it's because they want you to put yourself in the shoes of the character you're playing. But it also doesn't make a whole lot of sense that like your character, whenever somebody tells you something, that your character doesn't react. Doesn't make really a lot of sense. But what we like in this one, you get to see them interact with each other. Like Sylvain interact with Felix interact with Ingrid interact with Annette interact with Mercedes interact with the dude interact with Dimitri, and all that stuff. Like you can see their personality bouncing off each other. It's way better than just you interacting with one of them, and they have a storyline and you're just an observer there watching. So I think that's really good. I really like that. The story, like I said, I already said that. The story I think is good. It's a decent story. But they don't explain everything. Like in the end here, we know Rhea is saved. We know what happened to you. We know what happened to you, who you marry. We know what happened to each of the characters you have recruited and is in your class. Basically, you see what happened to them. So that's really cool. But you never get to like the whole picture, and we at this point I don't even know if you played like all the routes, all like 3 house routes. I don't even know if you can get the whole story there. Like for instance, obviously Dimitri's uncle who you killed, he doesn't respect Dimitri or Edelgard. So who is he working with? Is he working for himself, or is there some other organization you can only like unlock their secret by playing the other routes? And what happened to Edelgard's mom? Was the mom ultimately what caused the tragedy of Dusker? It feels like it, but like on the other hand, what happened to her? She's not with Edelgard. Like I think it'll be very simple if the final battle begins and Edelgard transforms into a monster and like the mom just kills herself or like out of guilt or something like that. You need the mom to show up. Her mom never shows back again. We don't even know if she caused the tragedy of Dusker and like the people who helped her just killed her, or did she wish Edelgard? We don't really know. I thought Edelgard was doing this because they were holding her mom hostage, but no, she's actually a bad guy, and she wanted to do all of those things. So what happened to her mom? And what happened to Solon and the other like the owl-looking dude? I don't know for his name. He was with the girl that killed Gerald, and I turned like in that scene I turned back time to try and save Gerald, but he blocked my sword. That dude, what happened to that dude? Because he was definitely not part of the he wasn't with Death Knight and Fódlan and stuff, and that Edelgard says he doesn't know anything about anything. She doesn't know anything about killing Gerald, but like she was with the Black Knight too, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So like I feel like they should have fleshed out the more stuff. I'm not saying tell me everything, but I'm saying you should tell me like more than what you're telling me now. So yeah, that's the bad part of the story. We don't really get to know anything. Also, there's no real surprise in what's happening story-wise. For instance, when the Flame Emperor showed up, I thought he was Cetus. Honestly, I thought he was Cetus. I did not think he was going to be Edelgard. And I feel like that would have been a pretty good reveal if they dropped the dagger crap. You know, like right before we fight the Flame Emperor and he dropped the dagger, Dimitri tells me a story about the dagger and Edelgard. I mean, like, it's pretty spelled out. I feel like you should have left it at. Dimitri shouldn't have told me about the dagger. And we fought Flame Emperor, and like, he drops the dagger, like, Dimitri picks it up. He knows what's happening, but we don't. So, and then in part 2, we learn more and more about the dagger and the significance to it. Like, instead of just hey, there's this story about Dimitri and Edelgard know each other and he gave her dagger. Oh no, the Flame Emperor dropped the dagger and Dimitri is shocked by the dagger. I wonder who the Flame Emperor is. See? Like, there's not any surprise to it. That's the worst part. And also the one where Gerald dies. He was like, hey son, I'm gonna tell you everything if you return here alive. Wink, wink, wink. Like, yeah, you know he was gonna die. So, like, yeah, if you want Gerald to die, fine. Have it like in the battlefield. Somebody kills Gerald, but you turn back time, you save Gerald. But when we come back to the monastery, like the Monica kills Gerald. Monica doesn't reveal herself as a traitor until we get back to the monastery and everyone's safe. Like, after wait a week or two, a month or two, and then Gerald gets killed. I think that would be better than whatever the heck this was. Also the story. Getting back to the story, doesn't tell anything. Is Rhea really your mom? Because Rhea's relationship with she was never actually fleshed out, and I feel like she is way more than someone who's who was thankful for Gerald for saving her life, and you're just some like child of Gerald and some priestess from the monastery. I feel like Rhea is acting way more than that. I feel like Rhea is acting like she is your mom or something like that. I don't know, but like, I feel like that's what's happening. So maybe we'll get more of that story if we play the other routes, but yeah. Also, I am curious about the other endings. I guess I didn't think whoever you choose was gonna be the whole ruler of Fódlan. I didn't think he was. I thought when you choose Dimitri, after Dimitri defeats Edelgard, either the Empire is gonna have a new ruler, or like Dimitri and Claude is gonna take over the Empire and like split the kingdom instead of 3 kingdoms into 2. But like Claude just up and left and leave the kingdom to Dimitri out of nowhere. And if you didn't choose Claude's route, you don't know what he's talking about. Like, he wants to leave Fódlan. You don't know that, so it kind of feel like it's out of the left field, it's out of nowhere. Like, so I am wondering, if you choose the alliance, is Dimitri gonna relinquish the throne and like when you're at the end of the game, is like Claude is gonna be the ruler of the entire Fódlan? Because I feel like that's where it's going. And also, if you choose Black Eagle, I think you get a choice at either siding with Edelgard in the end of part 1, or like siding with her, joining her to be a bad guy, or you get a option to be like a good guy to like stand against her. But if you choose to join her, what happens then? Do you help her kill Claude and Dimitri and like help her rule all of Fódlan? That doesn't make any sense. Do you get to like just go out and be a bad guy? Like, that's weird. So that's my question. I'm like the story is as men is like out of 10 I'll give it like 5 or 6, 6.5 max. It's meh. Like a lot of the surprises they could have handled it better. Also, like the story doesn't really tell you a whole lot, and so that's that. So the last thing I want to talk about is the game mechanic, the battle. I like this battle. Like I said, the only Fire Emblem light game I played is Fire Emblem Heroes. I played that game for a couple of months on my phone, and then I deleted it because it got like eventually which game like that, the gacha mechanics, the like slot machine mechanics just like pops out, and then you aren't really that interested in playing them anymore. At least that's what it is for me. And if you want to play a good mobile game that doesn't have a lot of pay to win mechanics, try Gwent, which is the Witcher 3 mobile game. The card game they made in Witcher 3, they put a mobile version of that. Try to play that. In that game, you can like spend gold. Currently, you can spend real money to buy gold, and then you use gold to buy crates, and you open up crates to get cards. But if you get a card that you already have, or a card you don't want, you can destroy the card and get like card pieces. If you get enough card pieces, you can use those card pieces to reforge into a new card that you don't have. So which means if you want a rare card and you don't want to keep it like spending you don't want to keep spending real money or like fictional gold to open up crits and never getting it, you can just open up crits and get a bunch of cards you don't want and get like do a couple of times like 10 times like that. Then I think you might be getting then you could get enough like card pieces to get that ultra rare card that you want. So I think that's really fair. Also, that's a never mind, that's a tangent. If you want a good mobile game, try playing that. So I'm a little bit familiar. Like I said, I played Fire Emblem Warriors on my phone, so I'm a little familiar with the grid-based strategy combat this game had. So yeah, so I really didn't need to catch up. I was able to pick up the game and get it from there. If I ever play this game, I might turn off the permadeath thing. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I play the permadeath, if your character dies, I'm going to turn back time and save them. If I run out of all of the time turning back thing and they still die, then I'm just going to like reload the game and not play it. Not like either level up some more before playing it, or like try it from the start, because I don't want the character to die. That's just not who I am. I like, especially with how good they put each character in. They how much backstory they put into each character. So that's something I really enjoy. So yeah, the combat is good. Everything's very intuitive. I like the class system you get, but what I don't like is the class being so gated. For instance, if you are a sword user, in the end, if you're a sword user, if you get to the master class, there's only one class you can go, and you have to pump a lot of points into magic, otherwise you're not gonna be able to get to that class. So I feel like that's a little bit weird. But yeah, the combat is really nice. You not only do you fight enemy soldiers, you fight monsters, and each class is something they're weak to. Like the Great Knight basically blocks every physical attack, but is super weak to magic. Pegasus can move and at a high speed, and they can dodge really well, but they're super weak to archer. I think the knight, the cavalry unit, are weak to axe and sword and stuff. And the sword and the axe are obviously weak to like Great Knight and stuff there. So like it's a circle what they're weak to. So yeah, that's really cool. So you're encouraged to build a very balanced team. Here's what the problem with the combat is. First, there's a couple things I have like. First things I already touched upon earlier. The class. I feel like the class really is pretty wide. You can choose whatever class you want in the beginning and in the end. But when you get to the master class, it becomes very narrow, like what you have your character be. So that's not great. Second, about the quest. I don't know if it's a quest thing or a character thing, but some characters are just naturally like the game wants that character to be that class. Like for instance, Mercedes. Mercedes is the best healer in my party. Like she is the only reason why I finished the game. I beat the game. It's because her healing. But I try to give healing to Annette and also Byleth. But their healing is nowhere near as good as Mercedes. They don't have like the range heal thing. Mercedes can heal from like across the battlefield. But like Byleth and Annette, their heal is both at A. Like and they haven't learned that healing magic. And Mercedes learned that at like B or something like that. So I don't know what's happening there. So like I think that's a character specific healing. So the game doesn't encourage you to give or to have a character be a class that the game doesn't want that character to be in. Like if I want the Doom to be a magic user, I don't think that he will be as successful as a magic user as he is a great knight. So like so if you want the best healer, you have to go with Mercedes. You will have to, if you want the best like defender, you have to go with the Doom. So it's gonna raise the difficulty really hard if you're gonna shoot the difficulty way up if you try to like push them into a different class, which is a shame because I want to mix and match their class as much as I can to see what happens in a game like this. But the game doesn't encourage you to do that. So that's the main thing I have about that. Also, some of the end of chapter, like the main story battles, a lot of them, hey, when you are doing the weekday battles, the battle in Red Canyon and stuff, like Siege of the Monsters and stuff, some of those are, if you are like, you wouldn't hardly have any trouble with battles like those. But if you think, hey, I'm good, I'm like really breathing through these battles, and if we at the end of the month I would have no problem, but you'll be totally wrong. Not completely, because sometimes you'll be the main story mission are pretty easy. You can be like, hey, this is a little bit difficult than the weekday missions, but weekend missions, the side quests you take on. But yeah, it's a little bit difficult, but it's a good handle. But some of them is like, hey, you're 10 levels ahead, like below where you should be for this mission. Like for the battle, not the battle of the League of Alliance. It's not field, but we're fighting Edelgard, and Cloud joins in like to kill us. That mission, I literally had like Ingrid, one character left, which is Ingrid. I only had her left. And also the last mission of this Blue Lion route, all of the enemies is either Brawler, which is a heavy attacker, which can attack multiple times, or Axe user, which basically is the highest damaging physical outpost enemy. And the other two are magic users, black magic users, or like white magic healers. So there's nothing else. There's no archer, there's no sword user, there's no like Pegasus Knight, like nothing you can exploit. And they all attack this, yeah, and also all of the enemies attack the same ally, which is insane to me. Like they should put it in that the enemy cannot have like two or three enemy target the same allies for one turn. It doesn't really make any sense, because the last battle I have to actually hog a wall, so I'm out of their attack range. Otherwise, if one character like steps one tile forward, there's 9 enemy targeting her like them. There's no way they're gonna survive that. So yeah, there's that. Also, the characters. I said I really liked each characters and their storylines and their thing, but it's not without their fault. For instance, so each character have their story, but some of them like grow as their storyline go on. You learn more. If they don't grow, that you learn more about them and other stuff. Others, it's just not that great. Like Sylvain. Sylvain is a womanizer. Then you eventually learn why he's a womanizer, and you feel bad for him. But it's not like he tells you what his backstory, what he's been going through, and then he changes. No, he stays the same throughout. So does Felix. I mean, Felix is better than Sylvain. I guess that's something, because at the beginning I like Sylvain more than Felix. In the end, I think I like Felix more than Sylvain. But Felix doesn't change that much either. So yeah, like, have all of them. Not all of them are winners. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, a lot of their support cutscenes, support storylines are weird. Like, for instance, the one on top of my mind is Annette and Mercedes. They get harassed by thugs when they are out in the town. They're like they left the monastery, and one of them wants to fight, one of them wants to run, and then they decide to get into an argument about it. And it's really weird to me because it doesn't really matter, right? If you run away, that's fine. You run back into the monastery, that's fine, and they can't touch you. If you want to fight, that's fine too, because like you're two like natural user military academy students. You can take all of them on. That's not a problem. But they decide to just like manufacture a fight out of nowhere, and yeah, that's really weird. I do like how Nine's story goes. She has a crest that can turn her into a monster, so that's interesting. Ash's backstory is interesting. Of course, Catherine is interesting. Samir is interesting. All of them are interesting, but not all of them are winners. Also, you realize that Annette is Gilbert's daughter pretty early on in part 1, like early chapter in part 1. That's when you realize that. But what happens then? You don't see them like working things out. The next time you see them, they're already working. They have already things already worked out, and they're on good terms too. And that happened like in the 5-year skip, which is kind of a cop-up to me, to be honest. So yeah, that's the bad part about the story. Oh no, like the story, the characters, the gameplay, they all have their like flaws, but they all have their good parts too. The worst thing about the game, it's gotta be how time-consuming it is. Is that the good word? Time-consuming. I'm talking about fishing, and yeah. I'm talking, the two worst things about this game is the fishing minigame to raise the professor level, which is just a giant waste of time. In my opinion, I said about enough about fishing when I was actually doing it. I don't want to keep complaining it here. The second part about this game, I feel like they should get rid of, the mechanic they should just get rid of, is the weapon durability. I heard a lot of people complaining about weapon durability in Breath of the Wild. In that game, I felt like it was fine because you can get weapons anywhere. Like, you can just beat up a Mokoblin and like you can get the weapon. Doesn't really matter. I don't know if I told this story or not. When you left the Great Plateau, I think that's what it's called, the floating mountain. You left there, and then you can like parachute anywhere, right? I parachuted in the arena where there's a Lino in there. And I spent a whole week just beating this Lino until I can finally kill it. So my first like weapon after the only weapon I got is from the Great Plateaus, that I beginner weapon, and they broke, so I have to like pick up rocks and like bushes and like sticks and stuff to kill this Lino, and I eventually did it. I killed the Lino, so my weapon was the Lino weapon. So I never got, when people say the weapon durability in Breath of the Wild is bad, it's open world, you can just run around and get some new weapons. It's not that bad. But in this game, the weapon durability, how regular weapon has durability, and then if it's gonna be a legendary weapon, like an artifact weapon, level weapon, doesn't have durability, or if it does, shouldn't it be like at the 60s or 70s? But no, they're even lower. Some of them is like 10 and 15s. So like you are really, so the weapon durability of those weapons aren't even enough to get you through one like main story battle. for Ash's bow that we got from Claude, I give it to Ash, and Ash's bow broke before we could finish that battle. That's like we only started using it in the final chapter, in the final battle, and like it couldn't even get through that like entire battle before breaking. So yeah, the weapon durability in this game is really bad. Like you can have the regular weapon to have durability, but like I feel like the artifact weapon should be like just eternal. It shouldn't break. Or if it breaks, I feel like they should regenerate on their own. It just like doesn't. You don't have to actually reforge them. But yeah, that's the worst mechanic of the game. Along with the fishing. The best part is gotta be the characters moments, the supporting character moments, and then the regular just battle is really cool. I enjoy those. So yeah, if I'm going to give this game a review, it's going to be 8.5. It's not as good as 9. It doesn't get to 10. It doesn't get to 9. But 8.5 seems like the right place to put this game. I hear rumor that they're making a new Fire Emblem based on not based on story wise, but based on the mechanics and the other thing on 3 houses. I do kind of want to see. I kind of want to see that. I really want. I kind of want to see what that game is gonna be like. Again, they should take out the fishing and weapon durabilities. Again, weapon durabilities, I don't know about fishing, but I assume weapon durabilities are like a staple of this like a franchise. Like all the weapons have their durability, and when you break it, you need to reforge or need to buy new ones. That might be baked into the game's mechanic. We have to see. But like I said, the best thing I can say about this game is, after playing it, I'm interested in playing more Fire Emblem. I've been told that this Fire Emblem, is the best Fire Emblem except for Awakening. So I do eventually want to try that. I have 3DS, so I'm gonna try that. I don't know how to stream on 3DS, so I'm probably not gonna stream it. But this game makes me want to play more Fire Emblem, like how Shin Megami Tensei 4 and the Apocalypse made me want to check out the whole SMT franchise. So yeah. We will be playing Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hope when it comes out in June. I have games I want to play on March. New releases I want to play on March. One of them is Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. So after I'm done with the game I want to play for March, there's really nothing I want to play new. I want to play at April or May. Let's see, hold on. When does Fire Emblem 3 Warriors 3 Hopes come out? Warrior 3 Hope. Here we go. June 24th, so late June. So we might come back to this game and play another route. I think I'm gonna play Golden Deer route on the New Game Plus. I think I'm gonna play Golden Deer on New Game Plus. And play another house, play another route. Like I said, I don't know if the 3 Hopes will you be a linear story, or is it gonna be like 3 Hopes? Because when the Warrior games are usually, they take as much mechanics or like the story as they can from the original. I played the Persona 5 Strikers, which is a Persona Warrior game, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And they try to go as close to the original as possible, so you might have to choose a house in like, then have different stories as you proceed through that game. So I do kind of want to get as much of the story as I possibly can through before actually playing it. So we might come back to this game and play the Golden Deer route. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Then we're playing 3 Hopes when it comes out, and before that we might play do another playthrough of the 3 houses. If we are done with the March new releases that I'm done before 3 Hopes comes out, which I'm pretty sure is going to. Alright. that's that. I do want to see what happens if you choose a new game plus. So let's do that right now. Let's see what happens if I choose a new game plus right now. Where does this put me? For beginners and for experienced players, creating a challenge. Alright, hold on. Casual units, fallen unit rise again in the battle sign. Fallen unit lost forever. Every decision counts. Alright, so it's no. Okay, you can play hard on. Okay. Okay, let's play normal and play classic. Let me see. What happens if I do this? Yeah, this is the cutscene where Ria's mom fights her.
It is most rude now come to.
Okay, so this is okay, character select. Alright, never mind. I think this you just start from the beginning and you get to keep all of the stuff they say you get to keep. Well, which is fine. Okay. We are done with Fire Emblem Three Houses blind playthrough. If you are watching this on Twitch, follow the channel for like the playthrough I'm doing. If you are watching this on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you want. If you want to see it live on Twitch, I'll leave the channel link down in the descriptions. Also leave my Patreon link there too. I have a if you're what am I trying to say here? I've been speaking for too long. Okay, the other playthrough I'm doing on the channel is Pokemon Legend Arceus. I don't know how long until I'm done with that game, but if after I'm done with that game, I'm going to complete the Pokédex of that game, and then catch Arceus, and then catch all the legendaries, and finish all the side quests. Then I will be done with that game. I'm not going to perfect Pokédex on stream, but I think I'm going to perfect Pokédex on my own time. That's what I want to do for that game. If you are interested in that playthrough, come back tomorrow. I will be only streaming Pokemon Legend Arceus from now on until at least I'm done with that game. And if you want to see Pokemon, no, not Pokemon, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, come back in June for that. Like I said, I will most likely do another playthrough of this game before June comes, and before we play the Warrior 3 Hopes game. We are going to go for the Golden Deer route, and I'm going to select the female avatar this time because I selected the male one. Then I'll select the female one. Then when I'm playing the Black Eagle route, I'm going to select the male one and try and go for like Edelgard route. Try to see what happens if you decide to romance Edelgard. When I do the female version, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with Claude. I'm like if I'm a female character, then why not just go with the quote unquote main male character, right? So yeah, if you are interested in seeing that, come back then. But yeah, let me see. Hold on. I'll probably play with female characters if when I'm back to playing. Yeah, we still have the New Game Plus. Alright, so that's that. We are done. See you guys all next time. Goodbye.